Yeah, my name is Richard Casper. I'm the executive director and co-founder for CreativeVets, but also the chief visionary officer for We Should Write Sometime. CreativeVets is my nonprofit that helps combat wounded veterans heal through arts and music, and We Should Write Sometime is a tech app, kind of like Bumble or Tinder for songwriters to help them connect around the globe. I was literally blasted into my entrepreneurial journey. While I was in Iraq, I was blown up 4 times. So I have a brain injury, and I did not plan on being an entrepreneur before that, even after that for a while. But after I discovered art and music that completely saved my life, I looked back and I said, well, there's no programs like what I just experienced, so I need to start one. So literally had no idea. I went from Marine to bouncer to bar to art student to executive director. So I just started the nonprofit in kind of a need. So CreativeVets' whole mission is to empower wounded veterans through arts and music, but we do that in really big ways, because if you can outweigh a veteran's anxiety and depression with excitement, you can get them to do anything. So for example, we actually write in this room right here. We'll fly in combat veterans from around the country, about 10 of them. They'll come here and they'll tell their story for the first time, things that they've never been able to talk about before, with hit writers and artists. We've had artists like Justin Moore, Granger Smith, Randy Rogers, Craig Morgan, Craig Campbell, all sit in these rooms and help them share their story for the first time, so they have a voice finally. We also do this in art programming at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, Glassell School of Art in Houston. We ran at USC, Belmont, VCU. The whole part of that program is a 3-week fully accredited art program to help them heal through arts just like they would in songwriting. Like, how do I tell my story in a different way? Some of the early success I had was legitimately just trying to build something and telling everybody about it. And so I told a lady I just met who's a philanthropist, I said, hey, I really want to start a nonprofit, but I don't know how. And she's like, well, I do. And I was like, oh, cool, how do we do it? And she was like, hey, I'll get some board members, you get some board members, and you build programs. I'm like, that's what I'm good at, sweet. And so we just launched into it. And that first year, it was really difficult because I had no idea what the nonprofit landscape looked like. Nonprofits and for-profits run really parallel with how you're building things. It's just the idea that now I have to ask people for money for no product. The product is saving veterans' lives, but they don't get to see that right off the bat. So the first year was really, really hard to just talk people into giving me money for the programs. They need to trust me, we're brand new. I think the succeed-fail rate is really based off the entrepreneurs who say like, I just want to build something, and they don't know what they want to build, and they just kind of like go until they can't figure it out, or they find something but they're not passionate about it. I think you have to have a passion. I think there are certain people who have a passion to build and that's what drives them, but just the want to build something or build a company, I don't think does it. New and inspiring entrepreneurs, I would say just go for it. I mean, everybody, especially if you're young, almost everybody I talk to, it's probably bad. Everyone who's in a job now, like if they're like 18 to 25, I'm just like, hey, have you ever thought about starting a job or starting a company? It's really cool because you have time, you have a little bit of time to waste before you start a family. But when you feel the downest, like keep going, because that's where it's at. It's like you are back against the wall. You think nothing's gonna happen. For me, from 2013 when I started to 2017, there was this like impossible barrier to break. I didn't have employees. I was an independent contractor of my own company because of how everything was going. Couldn't make a salary for myself. And I was just like, I have been delivering. I have been saving. I see these other nonprofits all raising up around me being like, why are they doing this? When I'm like, I got my head in the game. I'm doing the programs the right way. And in 2017, just everything delivered at once. Everything I've been waiting for and working for, keeping my head down. I was named Time Magazine's Next Generation Leader of 2017, and they did a documentary of my life, which is one of only 2 people they've ever done a documentary on. And that opened up the door to where we scaled from, I think we're at 2017, we're around $100,000 to $200,000 nonprofit. Today, we just raised 3.7 million, I think it was. And now we're the largest arts and music nonprofit. All these people I was worried about before being like, oh my gosh, like why are they doing so good? We have surpassed and kept going. So I would say jump into it and just go for it. You're scared right now, but today's the time. Because if you're just gonna think about it and do it a year later, you just lost a whole year that you could have been building towards that same experience I had. So Nashville is probably the only place I could have started. Honestly, both CreativeVets and We Should Write Sometime, the culture, the vulnerability, and the people. So when I was living in Illinois, I would travel down here and meet a songwriter and then go back up and then schedule a write later for that same songwriter. And I realized I just need to move here because you need to know people to get to know other people. Just Tennessee in general, so friendly and so kind that when I came, they just accepted me with open arms and helped me build what we built today. One of the easiest ways people can give back to us is actually just by listening to our music. So if you look up CreativeVets as the artist, you'll see CreativeVets featuring Aaron Lewis, CreativeVets featuring Justin Moore, CreativeVets featuring Granger Smith. But when you listen to those are songs written by veterans for veterans, but royalties from you just listening comes back to us as an organization. So that's one of the easiest ways you can help.